Time to look at the international newspapers. Now, I'm joined here on set by Nick Rushworth. He's looking at the world's papers. So we're going to start with the latest in the Congo crisis.
Hello, Stuart. Congo crisis. I wanted to look more at the broader regional reaction in the press in central southern Africa, and I turned to the Burkina Faso paper, Le Pays. Now, it is very strongly critical. There we can see jusqu'où iront les rebelles, how far will the rebels go? And that paper is strongly critical of DRC President Joseph Kabila, Stuart. The editorial there is saying there's been no serious reaction from him concerning M23 rebels taking control of Goma in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. It says the DRC army cannot discipline its troops. The people of the region are caught in the middle, and there the conclusion is a rebel assault on Kinshasa itself cannot be ruled out.
You pulled out one piece as well, one paper in Africa, very concerned for peacekeepers there even.
Well, this is in the South African paper, The Times of South Africa, and there you can see the front page report, fears for its troops. Now, that report centres on a detachment of SA troops that has been caught in isolation by M23 rebels as the rebels overran positions in Goma. That piece there is saying black and white, the fall of Goma now has raised the spectre of an all-out regional war.
And the papers in DRC itself?
Well, I turn to L'Observateur in the DRC, which says that everyone knows that the M23 rebels are backed by Kigali, that's Rwanda, and what's required now is dialogue with Rwanda to find out exactly what its motives are. It says the DRC must reassert itself. Joseph Kabila has 4 more years in power. He should be given time. And that in the end, all the wars in the world end with one thing, don't they? Negotiations around the table for peace. So that's the conclusion there in DRC.
Now, you've also seen a comment piece. This is in one of the Rwandan papers called The New Times.
Well, diametrically opposed. We've got something here, a comment piece by Oscar Kabatende, who's writing for the New Times of Rwanda, which describes itself as the leading paper of the country. Now, it says that there's been shelling on Rwandan troops on the Rwandan town of Gisenyi, which is right next to Goma on the border there, and that's raised his hackles. He says there can be no Rwandan operation pillars of defence, as in the Israeli style, because if Rwanda dares to defend itself, it'll be hit by sanctions, people's welfare will be hit.
Now, to a different story, Israel-Gaza. Of course, we're hedging to a truce there, but the paper's saying we're not quite there yet, and the violence continuing as well.
Well, I saw this cartoon in the International Herald Tribune, which sort of captures the situation at the moment and for several days now. An eye for an eye, for an eye, for an eye, for an eye. Not nice at all. Egypt, of course, is at the forefront of brokering a deal. The Egyptian paper Al Haram has this piece: the Gaza damage is beyond what we had heard. That's a quote from the Egyptian foreign minister, who, along with other Arab ministers, has visited the Gaza Strip and seen the damage directly. For analysis, I turned to the Abu Dhabi paper, The National. It's arguing that Israel's strategy with Operation Pillars of Defence is doing what some Israeli strategists call cutting the grass. So now this is basically about running down the military capacity of nearby enemies, whether Hamas in Gaza or Hezbollah in Lebanon. And this strategy, according to The National, is total nonsense. It is only making Israel less safe.
With all those depressing stories in the papers, we could do with a good news one. You've picked out one from Singapore, haven't you?
Well, this is an extraordinary story. In lots of the papers, it's picked up by the Huffington Post. There you can see a Singapore cabbie finds $900,000 in his back of his cab, and he returns it to the Thai couple that left it. What would you do? What would you do?
I'd keep it. No, of course I wouldn't.
Bit of a moral dilemma, a bit of a moral maze there for you. But the bloke there, 70 years of age, a cabbie in Singapore, his name is Shah Katan, said that, well, he didn't want to have a windfall. What would he do with it? The Huff Post is saying that another cabbie for the same company found gold bars a few years ago in Singapore. What's going on in Singapore, Stuart?
Just go and catch loads of cabs and see what you can find in the back seat. You never know. Shah Katan, well done to him. Nick, thank you very much. Nick Rushworth with the International Papers on Fox.